Hi, my name is Nacho, welcome back to the channel, and I'm afraid today I am the bearer of terrible news. As you might have heard, the highly successful Star Wars spin-off, produced, written and directed by Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, The Acolyte, has been cancelled and will not renew for a season 2, and we have unseen footage from the fans taken to the streets in protest. Now you might think this is a video of me, who, according to the hundreds of supporters of this show, would be labeled a racist, an incel, a sexist bigot, just mercilessly shitting on this show that from its very announcement raised enough red flags to rival a Chinese military parade in the honor of the just Emperor Xi Jinping, a show spearheaded by the final boss of white middle-aged talentless lesbians, led by a non-binary racist actress with the acting range of a melting ice cube, who for some reason they decided to give 2 characters to play, doubling people's exposure to her lack of emotional range, that features some of the most nonsensical dialogue, MacGuffins, character motivations, the most lackluster action scenes comparable with those in the Velocipaster, that wasted good actors like Manny Jacinto, Lee Jung-jae and Carrie-Anne Moss, who are now going through extensive physical therapy to get rid of the back pain caused by carrying this show. All to fulfill the fantasy of a former female abuser facilitator who nepoed as many people as she could into this show and managed to piss off every single person who's ever seen a Star Wars film. If you think that's what this video is about, you are wrong, because this is actually a celebration. Because the levels of failure the Acolyte managed to achieve in such short period of time are fantastic and an incredible achievement in itself. You have to be an expert level idiot to force Disney, the company currently pumping out the most woke trash cinema history has ever seen, to be in such a rush to get rid of all things related to your show. As of the making of this video, Disney has officially announced that season 2 of The Acolyte will not be happening, which is something I even predicted multiple times. That's not all, because they announced this on the birthday of Manny Jacinto, one of the few actors in this that's actually worth giving a fuck about. That's low, even for Disney. The official Disney website no longer features any merch related to the show. The final ratings of the season finale, which are what most sane people attribute as the main reason why the show was cancelled, are described by multiple news articles as abysmal. It has the worst viewership of any Star Wars show ever made. Lucky for Leslie Headland, the fans of the show are mobilizing hard in order to save the show and make season 2 happen. Unfortunate for Leslie Headland though, there aren't that many of them. To give you an idea, when The Witcher started shedding the bed harder than Amber Heard after a bottle of red, pushing Henry Cavill away, the change.org request to get him back on the show and fire the writers instead gathered almost 300,000 signatures. That still wasn't enough.
Fuck.
I'm sure that the legion of hundreds of loyal fans who, as the petition says, are finally being seen in The Acolyte will get this extremely expensive show back on the road. And it's funny how they are wording this petition, because this show was made for someone, and these someones are finally being seen and represented in The Acolyte like never before done in Star Wars. But in what way specifically? Are they being seen in the murder psychopath that can't make her mind about what she wants? Or in the evil Sith Lord with a massive cock who's willing to go to extreme lengths to get what he wants? Perhaps they see themselves in the Jedi Master who refuses to remain stoic and follow orders and instead sacrifices everything and everyone in order to be with a woman who he is overly fixated with. Or maybe Deus Ex Beaver, who is the most influential character in this entire show. Or perhaps in the multiple female Jedi Masters who lie to their superiors and orchestrate cover-ups that will eventually lead to the death of their entire order. Maybe they see themselves in a resentful idiot who didn't become a Jedi because she was full of hate towards her sister, who, according to the show, is the same person as her, and who killed a man that loved her and raised her in order to flee with the evil Sith Lord with a massive shlong who murdered all her friends and love interest in cold blood. This last one was explained by Leslie Headland as a victory for Osha and a passive aggression from Saul, who by accepting his fate and agreeing to getting killed by her, denied her of her agency to force choke him to death, and is considered benign sexism because he was still caring for her as a father while she was fucking murdering him. I know what they really mean is that they are seeing themselves as gay and colored people, which has never been done in Star Wars for decades. So it takes one in a generation genius like Leslye to finally give these people the representation they so desperately deserve. Because you know, being gay, or black, or Asian is something to be rewarded. But again, the legions of fans defending the show took to TikTok, which is definitely the place to go for an unbiased, reasonable opinion. And what follows I can only describe as poetry.
So the Acolyte.
I'm gonna pause on this lovely lady for a second and let you guess her field of studies based on how she presents herself. Got it? Okay, let's see what she has to say.
It was set up to fail from the beginning. When the Acolyte was first announced as a female-run show with Leslye Headland at the helm, starring a black femme and a diverse cast of characters unlike we had seen in a Star Wars project before, the review bombers took to the internet before the show even had a chance to air.
We've touched on this multiple times, but let's do it once again. If the review bombers are the problem, but there's lots of people who love this show, why didn't they review the show positively to offset the bad reviews? Could it be because there aren't that many of them?
They've hit the second tower.
What the fuck? Never doubt the ability of liberal chicks in TikTok to produce content.
I understand that it got review bombed to an insane degree.
This is starting to sound like a broken record.
Amanda Stenberg, who not only gave a phenomenal performance, as Osha, but also as her twin sister May, had no choice but to stick up for themselves and defend herself against the vitriol and bigotry that she was receiving because Lucasfilm did not protect her.
Yeah, and how did that work out for her?
It was for the girls on board.
I can't understand a single fucking thing she's saying, but she's pretty.
What do you mean? It wasn't bringing in the
The viewership was not bad. Precedent this is setting is very scary and very concerning.
Quite the contrary, it means that the companies are starting to think with their wallets and not their fucking vaginas. Comment down below what your guesses were. I'm going to say gender studies. So even after all the trouble Disney went to pay off the media defending this show, it is those very same media outlets who are milking the shit out of the title, The Acolyte cancelled after one season. Some of them are even framing this as a bad thing in a way, blaming the deserving cancellation of a show that failed to entertain to racism, misogyny, bigotry, instead of showcasing the case that it has some of the worst audience reception, retention, review, and ratings of any show in Star Wars history. But the overwhelming failure that is The Acolyte will potentially mean that the amount of Star Wars content we'll be getting will be reduced, because it's no good business to any studio to keep paying for shows that are losing money. So the side of the franchise who enjoy sending death threats to YouTubers and are raging on Twitter about this, saying, "Hope you're happy, chuds, you won, now no one's getting any more Star Wars," which is not entirely a bad thing if you think about it. But what the actual racist bigots are failing to realize is that this is not a win for anyone. As I said before in previous videos, Leslye wanted to bring forth a story where the bad guys win, while failing to realize that the bad guys have already won, because she got to make this show a reality on an overly inflated and mismanaged budget, a signature trait for shows created by women who don't know what they're doing and don't understand the IP they're working with. And its subsequent, although very predictable failure, will lead to Disney tightening the grip on future Star Wars releases, which is a good thing in a way, because Disney Star Wars fucking sucks, but at the same time it's bad, because it takes away from the opportunity for actual good talent who could bypass the woke color scheme that corporate executives want to put on everything nowadays and actually make a great show that would tick all their bullshit boxes while still managing to be enjoyable, entertaining, or at the bare minimum, coherent. All things The Acolyte failed to be. The only thing that this show was ever successful in is showcase how small the so-called modern audience actually is. There's a clear change in the winds happening right now. The amount of money being lost from woke fanatics butchering good IPs in the name of diversity and representation is reaching critical mass, and studios are starting to turn the wheel and steer back the ship in the way of profits. First, The Acolyte being cancelled, Borderlands becoming the biggest bomb in gaming adaptations, PB Waller-Bridges' Tomb Raider being discontinued, Marvel cleaning house and getting rid of anyone who could be labeled as an activist. All of these things being highlighted by Deadpool and Wolverine, a metacritic on Disney practices led by two white male blockbuster megastars, very quickly surpassing the $1 billion mark in the box office. Black Myth Wukong, a game about a fighting monkey becoming the most single-player game in history after Game Science, the studio behind it, politely told Sweet Baby Inc. to go fuck themselves and their consulting practices, which automatically put it in the radar of millions of gamers who know what agreeing to the terrorist tactics of Sweet Baby Inc. does to a game. They're still trying to smear the game though for its lack of diversity. A game about a fighting monkey. I mean, you gotta at least appreciate their persistency. So the DEI and ESG business practices, at least in the entertainment industry, are running into a bit of a problem. Because despite the generous long run they had so far, their inability to produce successful products that generate money are increasingly becoming an inconvenience for all the companies that follow their model. And in this capitalist world, the only true god corporate overlords listen to is money. So no amount of cancel culture, terror tactics or name calling will undermine the smirk that a stack of Benjamins puts in their faces. You fail to deliver, they will throw you out, unceremoniously, in the trash, along with your shows, your games, and your pronouns. So congratulations to Leslye and the Acolyte. You lost. Goodbye. But if you watched this fine video, leave us a like. Let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite game released this year. And as always, I've been at you. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.